Just give me an intro on you.
Okay. Kenneth Hegmann. I'm the boys soccer coach at Lebanon Trail High School.
Yeah, perfect. Cool. So we have, man, I feel like I've been to Lebanon Trail like 100 times. For some reason, your coaching staff, like the whole coaching staff there is like super inviting. And everybody's like, sure, come out, hang out with us. Like, we'd love to see you. So
Yeah.
I feel like I've been there for about every program now. And
That's
which
awesome.
is good,
That's
man.
good.
That's great. So,
yeah.
Cool. Well, making it through this whole deal. So, family's good. Are you letting your kids do anything crazy?
No, it's funny. We talked to our neighbors a little bit, and it's kind of like what it's done is it's given them. It's kind of gone back to like simpler times. Like they go outside and ride their bikes now, where they didn't do that before. Just to get out of the house. They'll go out and ride their bikes and chase rabbits and squirrels and just doing all that sort of stuff. So it's been that's been kind of good that they've just kind of gone back to like how I used to play.
Right. Back before cell phones and video games and all the craziness that kept you inside.
Yeah. And they're just itching to go outside, and that's not what they're used to. Usually we have to drag them outside. Now it's like, Dad, I'm going to go outside. I'm like, go play.
Yeah. Right.
Get out of here.
Yeah. So you're meeting with your kids virtually. You said your leadership staff, your leadership council?
Yeah, yes. So I meet with the seniors once a week. I meet with the 5 guys that are kind of returning varsity players who also have a little bit of leadership quality in them. Try and get them to lead a little bit more, but also try and push them to push other people. Because it's hard to get with everybody. And you don't want to have a Zoom call with your entire team because they're not, number one, they're all talking all over each other. And if you have 60 guys in a Zoom call, you'll have about 10 that absolutely aren't going to show up. And then you have another 20 that will turn off the video and just walk away. And so we really want to make sure that we're engaging everybody. And so I think the best way we've found to do that is to individualize it and really just have those 5, my 5 core leadership guys go out there and reach out to the guys that need help, and reach out to those guys who need a little bit of a push. And so they just pick 1 or 2 a week, talk to those guys, invite them out to work out, 6 feet, obviously, but but try and get out there with them and help each other out. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's been good. This week we're going to start something new. Also, we're going to do some challenges that'll have like creative negs and diving saves and stuff like that. That's just kind of fun stuff, soccer related, that we'll post on Instagram and Twitter and compile a video of everybody and see how it goes.
Cool.
We just got to find ways of engaging them. That's the hardest thing right now.
Yeah, right. Well, man, your leadership kids, I'd like to interview them if I can get a chance with that. Sounds, because this is something that I haven't heard like at all.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, coaches are super into I'm talking to all my kids, having each coach specifically go to their position group, but I haven't heard of a coach that's like, yes, my leadership council is the one that's like reaching out to people and our captains are the one that's like doing their stuff. So I'd like to pick their brains on what that's like being a leader, especially in a time like this. That's cool, man.
Yeah, I'll reach out to them and let them know that you're interested.
Yeah, and you can tell them to hit me on Twitter or whatever. So that'd be great. So what are you guys doing going forward? Because I know school's out for the rest of the year here in Texas. So do you have any sort of plans to meet in the summer? Like, you got anything?
So usually we've always done open indoors at our facility. So I'll open the facility for a couple hours, a couple days a week to just play. And we just play 5v5 in the indoor.
Yeah.
The plan is to keep going with that, depending on what the governor and Frisco tells us we're allowed to do. If they tell us no, then we're not able to do it. We'll just figure something else out. But if they let us, hey, you can play in the indoor, or you can kind of, camps are still good, and that's the other thing is we don't know what's camps look like right now. We don't know, the hard thing right now for me is middle school soccer season is right now. Right? It's at the end of the school year. So normally I'd be meeting with those guys and talking to them and hitting them up and seeing what their interest level is and And I haven't been able to do that. So that's been really difficult. And I reached out to all of them that are signed up for soccer next year, just to be like, hey, what's going on, and not a word. So, that's one of the challenging things, man. It's these guys in the middle school guys, they don't know me,
Right.
Whereas normally they would already have a really good idea of who I am and what I'm about, and now they don't. And so that's going to be a challenge of whenever we get back in the fall of getting those guys integrated more quickly than we've had to in the past. Usually they're integrated and ready to roll,
Right.
Now we've got to figure out what it's like opening a brand new school all over again,
Right. Yeah. Oh man. I've talked to quite a few different coaches that are like, well, it's just different now because when summer gets here, it's kind of thrown off all our plans because our 8th graders are typically ready to go by the summer and they know the expectation. But now, like, we can't meet with them. We can't do anything. So they have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's going to take a little bit of long-term toll on most programs.
Yeah. I mean, good thing for us is we're not football, right? We don't start until, November. So for us, we've got a little bit more time to do the team building again and build the camaraderie and all that fun stuff while trying to build the culture and the expectations. Football, you start day one, you got to build that from the beginning, and you don't have the time.
Tough, man.
Volleyball, tennis, all those sports.
Yeah, I feel like football's at a little bit of a disadvantage because they're losing spring football, but that's no different than any other program because like you said, soccer is right now for the middle school kids. That's a big part of your program in 2 years. Yeah. I mean, shoot, man. I feel like a program's culture is going to shine or it's going to really show how bad it is when all this is over with. Because those kids that are out there doing stuff and the coaches that are actually working and trying hard to get their kids involved, you're going to notice soon. Yeah. So that's going to be exciting.
Yeah, we just pray that the seniors left us a good legacy going forward, Yep.
Well, what about your goals? So if your goals changed at all from this year to short-term goals, obviously long-term goals don't change at all, but your short-term goals in terms of like getting kids going and getting different things accomplished by the summer or even by the start of school year, has that changed at all?
Yeah, it's changed a lot because right now it'd be a lot of team building and a lot of off-season weights and stuff like that and sprint work and, those kinds of things. Now it's we continue to, they have a program that they're supposed to work through as far as, lifting and stuff like that. We've already created all that and given it to them and expected them to do it. And hopefully they post some videos on Twitter and Instagram and stuff like that. But really more than anything right now, it's about trying to find a way to still do team building without being next to each other. I think that's our short-term goal is to continue to build that team building aspect that we wouldn't normally get, So that's the challenge that I put on that leadership crew is we still have to find a way to get together and come together as a team, no matter we're being 6 feet apart or if we're 2 inches apart.
Yeah, so. Right. Your leadership kids, are they meeting? Because I know you said they're trying to work out together a little bit, which lots of kids are doing that. Are they meeting at certain times? Like, are they working out at certain times of the day? And is there like a certain amount of them, or are they just kind of switching it up?
I think most of them are working out on their own.
Yeah.
And just posting the videos. So, and they're all over the place. And then, the battle that we have right now is that club coaches are also giving them different workouts and different things. And, and I love the club because we wouldn't exist really as well as we do without it. But on the other end, what my workout looks like and what their workout looks like are not the same.
Right.
And so the kids are kind of getting pulled in a few different directions, and it's tough on them. We've got that disadvantage that some of the other sports don't have, is that club's still pulling on them even though club season's over also. So
yeah, see, that's tough because you're battling too with the personal trainers, all of the guys that are going one-on-one with their own trainer, and then you got your club coach, then you got you. That's like, well, school just got canceled, so now I'm not working with Coach Hegmann anymore, and now I'm going straight to Yeah, that's tough, man.
Yeah.
That's a hard battle to fight right there.
Yeah. I mean, luckily, I've got some guys who really are bought in.
Yeah.
That's what it was about, you know. I mean, luckily, you know, you talked about it earlier, the culture of the team's really going to show through. I've got some guys who have bought in and are all in, and so they're still going to do everything I've asked them to do. You know, your culture doesn't always reach 100% of your guys, right? So
yeah, exactly.
we still got to find a way to get to the others.
So you talk about culture. I have every coach define what they think culture means in their terms and like how that reflects in their program. So if you want to do that, define culture and what that means to your guys.
I think your culture is basically, you know, it's always kind of that it's whatever they would do without me looking, you know, like that's kind of what my culture is to me is, are they doing the right things without me having to tell them to do the right things?
Right.
For us, we've always had the culture of leaving things better than whenever they showed up. So, I mean, that's classroom, that's, you know, and that can be by just cleaning up after themselves, or it can be cleaning up after other people, but it also is just like personality and doing their best and making sure that people look up to them, you know? And that's our big statement there is leaving it better than when you showed up.
That's good. What do you want your kids to learn through like this whole having their season? Well, I guess the end of season, having the end of their school year canceled, not seeing their friends, not going to prom, not going to homecoming. What do you want your kids to learn through all this stuff?
You know, the big thing is to take advantage of the things that you got, the time that you've got, because you never know. Like this right here tells you never know when it gets taken away.
Yep.
And so you've got to make sure that you're all in all the time, because if you're not and you go 90% and that extra 10% was what could have gotten us over the top, hopefully they all realize that if they go all in all the time, then stuff like this, when at least they can't look back and be like, man, I could have done something different. I could have done this different. And not even just soccer, just in life in general, you know?
Yeah.
To take those chances, take those risks that you wouldn't ordinarily take, because you don't know if they ever get taken away from you.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You can't predict things like this.
Yeah.
Be all in. Be all in. Do you guys have a like little slogan that you use? Some coaches have like the family or like we over me as performance course. Like, do you guys have one of those for your program?
Ours is always better together.
Oh, love it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's kind of an interesting one right now because we're not together.
Yeah, right.
So hopefully they understand, and hopefully that leadership crew really leans on it and kind of is like, hey, we'd all better together if we all do it, you know?
Yeah, right. Well, that's good. Well, awesome, man. Well, this is it's good catching up with you. I appreciate you taking 15 minutes this morning and catching this conversation. It's kind of nice to have that human interaction. I don't see a lot of people. I do Zoom calls pretty often, but not. I mean, it's just, man, it's hard not to like, because my whole job is talking to people, so it's tough to like just sit and just in my office, like, all right.
Bouncing around. Yep. Yeah. We got lucky. We've got some great neighbors, and we'll do some alleyway, driveway, just kind of hangouts.
Oh yeah.
So that's kind of kept us all together, because otherwise we'd struggle, man.
Yeah. It's tough. We have a 1-year-old, and so it's like, man.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Well, no, it's great. It's great. It's fun, but it's also like, man, I kind of like, I need some time with my buddies, you know?
Yes. Yep. Absolutely. And we, you know, my wife and I have talked about, we've got a family vacation coming up. We're like, man, let's just go on our own.
Yeah. That's exactly right. That's funny.
Need a little
time. Need some time for just y'all, you know?
Yeah.
That's funny.
So we'll find a way to work that in.
Yeah, that's good. Well, all right, man. It was good catching up with you. I appreciate the Zoom call here.